Hello and welcome to my very first video. Yes, this is a new channel, and for my first video I decided to go ahead and review the Game Boy Advance. There's a lot of nostalgia for this device. I had it when I was in school and I have a lot of good memories playing with it, and we can see on the pictures, by today's standards, it still look very good and it plays very good, I have to say. For me it was the best version because of the form factor. I like the buttons and how it feels when you use it on your hands, and how it all started. It all started back in 1989 with the release of the original Game Boy, designed by Gunpei Yokoi. At the time, there were other devices with better graphics and displays, but the Game Boy stood up because it was very practical, easy to carry. You will get actually better battery performance, and on top of that, we got great games like Tetris, Pokemon, and Maryland. Going back to the Game Boy Advance, this one I have here is the version AGV001, which I modded and put a LCD backlit display. This really gives a better gaming experience. And we can see here, these are some takes of the device from the back. We can see it's in a very good condition. This is the front. We have that very nice form factor, and here is some gameplay. This is how it looks, the device. This is Wario Land 4. It was actually one of the games advertised on the box of the device, and actually in a couple of moments we're gonna be unboxing this device, so let's get onto it. So to start, on the front we have here the Game Boy Advance name, and we have some of the new features, starting by the screen. It was a white color screen. Previously the screen was more tiny, and it was a square, just a square, just you can see here on the Game Boy Color. It was a very tiny screen, and that was actually a big step for a Game Boy. They moved to this wide aspect ratio screen, which was really good and neat. It was needed for a better gaming experience. Back here, you have the serial, a barcode. On the side, you got the Game Boy Advance logo, more Game Boy Advance logo, and you got the color here. It was color indigo or purple. On the back, you have the games, some of the games that you could play with this Game Boy. And you have here Super Mario Advance, Golden Sun, Wario Land, and Mario Kart Super Circuit. Actually, this was the best looking game I remember when I was in school. And wow, the first time I saw this, I was like, it was a wow moment for me. Then you have some other features that you have on the Game Boy. For example, it plays all the Game Boy Color games. Yes, it had backwards compatibility with the original and the Game Boy Color, so you could play all the library here. That's what makes this device such a great console. And you could also connect it to a GameCube, as you can see here in the picture. You could connect this to a GameCube and unlock things, use the Game Boy as a controller. You could transfer Pokemon, for example, like in a Pokemon game. So it was a cool feature, and I always like this of Nintendo. They look for ways on how their devices can interact to give like a better gaming experience. So that's the box. If we open the box, we are gonna see here we have the Game Boy itself. That's the Game Boy, and of course this is not a sealed box, as you can see, but at least it comes with most of the stuff that it came back in 2001, so we can reproduce the original experience. So that's the Game Boy, and we would also get here some booklets. Let's see what we get here. So we have a precautions booklet. We got an instruction booklet. This will teach you how to turn it on and off the device, how to put the game cartridge, the basic stuff. You got a GameCube advertisement. I guess this was the console of the time. A Nintendo Power subscription thing. I remember this magazine was the best because if you didn't have internet, it was the place to get like all those cheat codes and all that stuff. And this is a registration letter. You will send this to register your Game Boy, and they will give you like they will give you back like t-shirts or stuff like that. But of course that is not valid anymore. And here we have the Game Boy Advance itself.